Right now, chaos is knocking at your door. You can feel it in the air. The world is unpredictable, and the storm is coming. You may be sitting there, believing you have time to prepare. But here's the harsh truth. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. Every day, you are making choices that either fortify your mind or leave you exposed to chaos. The harsh winds of uncertainty can dismantle your peace if you let them. It's not about whether the storm will come. It's about whether you will be ready when it does. In this episode, we will explore 12 powerful Stoic rules that will make you untouchable by the chaos of life. These principles, honed by centuries of wisdom, will provide you with the armor you need. I want you to pause right now and comment, "I am the storm," below. Write it. Own it. Let every like on your comment remind you of this promise. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a force of nature. Now, as we enter this world of Stoic strength, get ready to embrace the tools that prepare you for the coming storm. Because knowing these rules is just the beginning. What comes next is even more powerful. Rule 1. The Armor of Indifference. Now here is where most people completely fall apart. They feel overwhelmed by life's chaos. They allow circumstances to dictate their emotions. They look outside themselves for peace. But that stops now. The first rule of Stoicism is your armor, the armor of indifference. This is not about apathy. It is about strength. It is about being untouchable. Take a moment to reflect on the story of Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the greatest Stoic philosophers. He lived a life filled with hardship. He faced physical pain and social injustice. Yet, he taught that true freedom comes from within. He said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Epictetus understood that external events are beyond your control, but your reactions? Those are yours to master. He didn't let the chaos around him define him. He wore his armor of indifference like a shield. The lesson here is simple yet profound. You are not weak for being indifferent to chaos. You are strong. You are resilient. When you stop caring about things outside your control, you free yourself from unnecessary pain. So how do you implement this? Here's your actionable takeaway. Tonight, before you sleep, write down 3 things that bothered you today. Then, beside each one, note how you could have reacted differently. Reflect on that. Turn the chaos into a lesson. Make indifference your armor. But here is the part nobody talks about. Indifference is not about ignoring the world. It is about choosing what to care about. What you give energy to shapes your reality. Focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your responses. That is where you build true strength. If this is hitting different right now, do one thing for me. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me. For the version of you that needs this reminder next week. As you armor yourself with indifference, remember, the chaos will always be there. It is how you respond that determines your fate. Now pay attention. This is the real lesson. Indifference strengthens your resolve. It allows you to act with purpose amid the turmoil. Embrace the armor of indifference. Prepare yourself, because the storm is coming and you will stand firm. But knowing this alone is not enough, because there is something even more dangerous lurking in the shadows. Rule 2. The Chaos Compass. You may find yourself thinking that chaos is a force that can overcome you. But let me be clear. Chaos is nothing but a storm that you can navigate. Now, here's where most people completely fall apart. They let the chaos dictate their actions. They react instead of respond. But you have a choice. You have a compass. The Chaos Compass is your guide through life's unpredictable storms. It helps you identify what matters and what does not. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. What does this mean? It means that chaos will come. It always does. But how you respond is what truly matters. You have the power to choose your direction. Consider the story of Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher who faced incredible adversity. Born into slavery, he could have seen his life as a chaotic mess. Instead, He used his situation as a reason to build his character. He focused on his thoughts and actions. He taught others what it means to be free, despite external chains. Here's the lesson. Chaos is real, but so is your ability to navigate it. When you use the chaos compass, you shift your focus inward. You stop worrying about what others think or what the world throws at you. Instead, you center on your responses. So how do you put this into action? Here's what you need to do. Tomorrow, when chaos strikes, stop for a moment. Breathe. Identify the situation. Ask yourself, what can I control here? Write down your answer. This simple act will shift your perspective. It will ground you, make you stronger. You will start to see chaos as an opportunity to practice your skills, not as something that defeats you. Most people stop here. Do not be most people. You are building your chaos compass. You are deciding what matters and what doesn't. As you do this, remind yourself, chaos is not the enemy. It is a teacher. Taking a moment to pause in the midst of chaos is powerful. It is your act of defiance against the chaos. It is how you stay focused. But knowing this alone is not enough, because there is something even more dangerous lurking in the shadows. The real danger is allowing chaos to blind you, to make you forget that you hold the compass. You are not just a passenger in the storm. You are the captain of your ship. So strap on your armor of indifference, embrace your chaos compass, and prepare to navigate the storm. Stand firm in your power because you have what it takes to overcome anything that life throws at you. Now more than ever, it's time to recognize your strength. Rule 3, the power of the pause. Now here is where most people completely fall apart. They forget the most crucial part of navigating chaos, the power of the pause. When chaos strikes, you want to react immediately. That is instinct. But the moment you react, you risk losing control. You risk being swept away by the storm instead of mastering it. The pause is not just a moment of silence. It is a declaration of your will. It is a space where your mind can clear, where your chaos can be tamed. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the essence of pausing. It is about taking back control. It is about turning down the noise of chaos and finding the clarity to act. Consider the story of the great Roman general Scipio Africanus. Facing the powerful Carthaginian army, he paused before every battle. He would not allow the chaos of war to rule his decisions. Instead, he used those moments to think deeply. He weighed each option and sought counsel from his generals. This habit made him one of the greatest commanders in history. He understood the importance of the pause and its power to dictate the outcome of his actions. The lesson is clear. Chaos can overwhelm, but the pause can empower. When you pause, you give yourself the chance to assess what is truly happening. You can separate your emotions from the facts. You can choose to respond with intention rather than react out of impulse. Action items for you. Tonight, before you sleep, take 10 minutes. Write down a recent chaotic moment you faced. Reflect on it. What were your immediate reactions? How could a pause have changed your response? Now pay attention. This is the real lesson. When you pause, you create a space for wisdom to enter. You allow yourself to breathe and to think. This is the moment when you reclaim your power. But here is the part nobody talks about. Many people fear that if they pause, they will miss their chance or lose control. They think they must keep moving, keep fighting through the chaos. This is a lie. The truth is, pausing gives you strength. It prevents you from making choices you'll regret. In those pauses, remind yourself, you are in control. You hold the compass. You are not a victim of chaos. You are its master. So tomorrow, when the chaos comes, remember this. Take a step back. Pause. Reflect. Then act. Now that you understand this, let me show you how to turn that pause into a weapon that makes you untouchable by chaos. Rule 4. The Wisdom of Detachment. Now here is where most people completely fall apart. They believe that detachment is weakness. They think holding on tightly is the only way to navigate this chaotic world. But nothing could be further from the truth. The wisdom of detachment is what separates the strong from the weak. It is the ability to step back and view your life without being consumed by it. This is a skill refined by Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, who understood that emotional distance can be your greatest ally. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This means that your reactions to life's events are within your control. You can choose how to feel. You can choose how to respond. Detachment allows you to see the big picture. It gives you the clarity to understand that most situations are beyond your control. What truly matters is your response to those situations. Imagine a soldier on the battlefield. He's surrounded by chaos, noise, and fear. Yet, in the midst of that turmoil, he takes a deep breath. He assesses his surroundings. He understands that panic will not serve him. He detaches from the immediate chaos to make clear decisions. His detachment does not mean he is uncaring. It means he is focused. He knows that his strength lies in his ability to think clearly in the storm. So, what is the takeaway for you? Start practicing detachment in small ways. When confronted with a stressful situation, be it work, relationships, or daily frustrations, pause. Ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? Or what is truly in my control here? By doing this, you create distance between your emotions and the situation. You turn chaos into clarity. But here is the important part. Detachment does not mean you shut down your feelings. It means you acknowledge them without letting them control you. Try this tonight. Write down a current stressor in your life. Next to it, note what you can control and what you cannot. This is your first step towards emotional freedom. Now pay attention. This is where it gets real. Detachment empowers you to make better choices. You are less likely to react impulsively. You're more likely to respond wisely. So, when chaos comes your way, remember this. You do not have to dive into the storm. You can step back, breathe, and take a moment. Now, I want to hear from you. What chaotic moment in your life could have turned out differently with a little detachment? Comment below and share your thoughts. But knowing this alone is not enough, because there is something even more dangerous lurking beneath the surface of chaos. Rule 5, the inner fortress. Now here is where most people completely fall apart. They think they have control over everything. But the truth is, chaos can invade the mind like a thief in the night. It can erode your focus and strength if you let it. What you need is an inner fortress, a stronghold built on your values and the wisdom of Stoicism. This fortress will protect you from the storms of life. Marcus Aurelius believed that the real battle lies within. He said, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." This means that everything outside of you can shift and swirl, but your inner world is your responsibility. When you fortify your inner self, you build resilience against chaos. You no longer react to external pressures like a puppet on strings. Instead, you stand firm, holding your ground. Think of the story of Epictetus. Once a slave, he refused to let his circumstances define him. He developed this inner fortress through philosophy and self-discipline. No matter what happened to him, he kept his mind sharp and free. His teachings remind us that our responses shape who we are. When he faced hardship, he asked himself, "What is truly in my control?" This is the lesson. Your thoughts and reactions determine your reality. You can either let chaos dictate your choices or build your fortress to stand strong against it. So, here's your action plan. Take a moment every day to strengthen your inner fortress. Start with this. Each morning, write down 3 things you value. These can be personal principles, goals, or relationships. Next to each value, jot down how you can protect and nurture them. When chaos strikes, remind yourself of these values. They are your shield. And remember, your fortress is not just built in good times. It is built in the furnace of adversity. Most people stop here. Do not be most people. To make this fortress impenetrable, do not let distractions breach your walls. Set boundaries. Limit your exposure to negativity, whether from social media, toxic people, or harmful environments. If this is hitting different right now, do one thing for me. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me, for the version of you that needs this reminder next week. Now dig deep. This next part changed everything for me. Look within and ask yourself, what thought am I allowing to weaken my fortress? Identify it. Write it down. Then challenge it. With each challenge, you reinforce your inner strength and clarity. You become untouchable by chaos. But knowing this alone is not enough, because there is something even more dangerous lurking beneath the surface of chaos. Rule 6. The Control Quadrant. Now, here is where most people completely fall apart. The truth is, chaos is a master manipulator. It tries to control your thoughts and actions. But there is a powerful tool to combat that chaos. Enter the Control Quadrant. This framework will change everything for you. It will show you what is in your control and what lies beyond it. This understanding is the key to unlocking your potential and fortifying your fortress. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." What does this mean? It means chaos may swirl around you, but your response to it is entirely your domain. The Control Quadrant is divided into 4 sections. 1. Control. What can you control? Your thoughts, your actions, your reactions. 2. Influence. What can you influence? Your relationships, your work environment, your habits. 3. Accept. What can you accept? The actions of others, the results of your choices, the unpredictability of life. 4. Let go. What can you let go of? Worry about things beyond your reach, judgment from others, past mistakes. Understanding these aspects will help you focus your energy on what truly matters. Let's break it down with a story. Consider the life of Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the most influential Stoics. He lived under difficult circumstances, yet he focused on what he could control: his thoughts, his learning, and his response to adversity. He taught his students the importance of recognizing what is theirs to manage. He would say, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This lesson became the foundation for his philosophy, enabling him to thrive despite his past. Now, what does this mean for you? You need to actively practice this Control Quadrant. Each morning, take a moment to evaluate your day. Ask yourself, what is in my control today? Write it down. Make it clear. Then reflect on what you can influence. What actions can you take to improve your relationships or work environment? Next, acknowledge what you have to accept. Not everything can be changed. Embrace that reality. Finally, decide what you can let go of. Release the unnecessary weight of external judgments and past failures. But here is the part nobody talks about. This process is not a one-time event. It's a continuous practice. Set aside time each week to review your Control Quadrant. Adjust it as needed. If this is resonating with you, hit that subscribe button. Do it for the version of yourself that needs reminders like this. Don't let chaos derail your progress. As you implement this Control Quadrant, you will find clarity. You will strengthen your inner fortress and become truly untouchable. Now that you understand this, let me show you the weapon that makes it stick. Rule 7. The Unyielding Will. Most people stop here. Do not be most people. Let's discuss the unyielding will. This is the ability to stand firm, to not break under pressure. It's about developing a mindset that refuses to yield to chaos or despair. Take the story of Marcus Aurelius. He ruled the Roman Empire during a time of great turmoil. Plague, war, and betrayal surrounded him. Yet, he was unshaken. He wrote in his journal, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that challenges do not have the power to defeat you. They are opportunities for growth. So, when faced with adversity, ask yourself, how can I turn this into strength? The lesson here is clear. Your will is your strongest weapon against the chaos of life. It is easy to become overwhelmed. The world throws obstacles at you every day, but the unyielding will demands that you respond differently. You will face discomfort. You will face fear. But it is in these moments that you must dig deep. What can you control? Your response, your effort, your determination. Take action. Tonight, write down 3 situations where you felt like giving up. Write how you could have responded differently. Identify how you can turn those obstacles into steps forward. Remember, the unyielding will does not mean being emotionless. It means having the strength to feel, to face emotions, and to choose your path regardless. Now, here's the important part. If you are feeling inspired by this, hit that subscribe button. Not for me. Do it for the version of you that wants to harness this power next week. Keep building that unyielding will. Every step strengthens your resolve. But here is where it gets dangerous. If you let complacency creep in, you risk losing this strength. The world demands a response. So, when you feel the urge to relax after a victory, remember that your will must remain strong. Challenge yourself daily. Ask, how can I improve today? Strength doesn't just come from big victories. It builds through small actions, consistent practice, and the refusal to back down. Every day, show up for yourself. Face challenges with courage. Trust in your will. This is how you become untouchable by chaos. You are forging your own path. Embrace it. Rule 8. The obstacle is the way. Now, here's where most people completely fall apart. They see obstacles as reasons to stop. They feel the weight of challenges and think it is too much to bear. But what if I told you that every obstacle you face is actually the path forward? The obstacle is the way. This powerful idea is rooted in Stoic philosophy, and it has the potential to transform your life. Today, we will explore how facing challenges head-on can lead to growth and strength. Let me share a story. During the reign of Marcus Aurelius, he dealt with wars, plagues, and personal loss. Despite these overwhelming hurdles, he remained a pillar of strength. He wrote in his journal, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Marcus understood that every hardship was not a barrier, but an opportunity to build resilience. So what does this mean for you? Simply put, when you encounter an obstacle, whether it's a setback at work, a tough relationship, or an unexpected failure, view it as a chance to grow. This is the lesson of Stoicism. Challenges are not to be feared, but embraced. When you face an obstacle, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Your reactions define your path. Take this to heart. The next time you face a challenge, don't shy away. Lean in. Think of it as a test. What can you do? Start today by identifying a current obstacle in your life. Write it down. Then, write out 3 different ways you could approach it. Maybe you're struggling with a project at work. Instead of stressing out, break it down into smaller tasks. Instead of giving up, ask for help or learn new skills. This is your action step. Do this immediately. The key is not to avoid the struggle, but to find purpose in it. When you confront obstacles, you strengthen your character. You become more resilient. And this is where it gets dangerous. Most people stop here. They think they've learned enough. But you have a choice. Commit to seeing every challenge as a building block for your strength. Remember, every obstacle is a step towards becoming untouchable by chaos. Now go. Transform your obstacles into opportunities. But knowing this alone is not enough. Because there is something even more dangerous lurking in the shadows of complacency. Rule 9. The eternal present hourglass not done. Now here is where most people completely fall apart. They get caught up in the chaos of their minds. They worry about the past and stress over the future. And in that chaos, they lose sight of the only moment that truly matters, the present. This is a critical point in your journey. Living in the eternal present is not just a nice idea. It is your lifeline to clarity and strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." What he means is that your thoughts about what is happening are what truly define your experience. Not the events themselves, but your response to them. This is your moment. Every second you spend worrying about what has happened or what might happen is a second stolen from your life. Think about that. Imagine a soldier on a battlefield, overwhelmed by the noise of war. The chaos surrounds him. Fear creeps in, but he knows he must focus on the moment. That soldier, like you, has a choice. He can either let the fear control him or focus on the task at hand. He breathes, assesses, and acts. The lesson here is clear. You must be present. You must remember that the only time you can change your future is in this very moment. What can you do? Here's your action step. Tonight, before you sleep, take a moment to reflect. Write down 3 things you are grateful for in your life right now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but right now. This simple practice pulls you back into the present. It disrupts the cycle of anxiety and regret. Gratitude centers you and strengthens your resolve. But here is the part nobody talks about. Most people dismiss the present moment as unimportant. They think tomorrow will bring better opportunities. But they are wrong. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. If you want to build resilience, you must embrace the power of now. It's the only battlefield worth fighting on. Now pay attention. This is the real lesson. When you face a setback, don't just react. Stop and breathe. Ask yourself, what can I do right now? You have the power to shape your reality. So, I challenge you. In every situation, remind yourself, this moment is mine to control. Comment that mantra below. Write it. Own it. Let every like on your comment remind you of this promise. This moment is mine to control. Now that you understand this, let me show you the weapon that makes it stick. Rule 10, the emotional shield. Now here is where most people completely fall apart. They face chaos, setbacks, and deep emotional pain. And instead of standing firm, they crumble. This is where you need your emotional shield. You must armor yourself against the chaos of life. Let's look back at history. Imagine Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, preparing for battle. He faced insurrection, disease, and constant threats to his rule. Yet he remained calm, anchored by his Stoic beliefs. Before a fight, he would remind himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. What he meant is this: you cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. Your mind can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. When chaos strikes, your emotions will try to take over. They will scream, react, panic, run. But the strong Stoic knows better. He builds an emotional shield. What does that mean for you? It means stopping yourself before you react. Recognizing that those overwhelming feelings are temporary. They do not define you. Let's break it down into action. When you feel your emotions rising, whether it's anger, fear, or sadness, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what is in my control? You may lose a job, something outside your power, but you can control your next step. You can adapt, learn, and pivot. This practice builds your emotional shield. It turns your mind into a fortress, unbreakable by outside chaos. But here is the part nobody talks about. Too many people allow their emotions to run wild, dictating their choices. They spiral into negativity, forgetting their strength. Do not be most people. Remember, your thoughts have power. You can choose to rise above. So tonight, I want you to do something powerful. Write down one challenging situation you are facing. Then, beneath it, list 3 possible responses that focus on what you can control. Start training your mind. Make that emotional shield. Now, you have a choice. You can let the chaos win, or you can stand firm. Comment below, I am my emotions master. Write it. Own it. Let it be your battle cry. I am my emotions master. Now that you understand how to build your shield, let's prepare for the next challenge ahead. Because knowing this alone is not enough. There is something even more dangerous lurking in the shadows. Rule 11. The reflection ritual. Now here is where most people completely fall apart. They think they can just control their reactions and emotions without taking a moment to reflect. They forget about the power of self-awareness. They ignore the importance of the reflection ritual. This ritual is your secret weapon. It's the moment when you step back and evaluate your thoughts and actions. It's where chaos meets clarity. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This means that the first step to mastering your emotions is to reflect on them. Think about it. Each day, you face countless challenges: stress at work, anxiety in relationships, fear of failure. If you go through these experiences without reflection, you're on autopilot, allowing circumstances to dictate your choices. But when you pause and practice the reflection ritual, you can regain control. Let me share a story. In ancient Rome, Marcus Aurelius was not just an emperor. He was also a philosopher. He faced immense pressure and conflict. However, he kept a journal, his personal reflection space. Each evening, he would sit in silence, writing down his thoughts, fears, and triumphs. He would ask himself questions. What went well today? What could I have done better? This wasn't just journaling. It was a powerful act of introspection. It allowed him to learn from his mistakes and celebrate his victories. It was his way to recalibrate his mind and spirit. And this is where it gets dangerous. If you fail to reflect, you'll keep repeating the same mistakes. You'll remain trapped in cycles of negative thinking. So what does this mean for you? Every night, I challenge you to take 10 minutes for the reflection ritual. Ask yourself, what did I do today? What emotions did I feel? What choices did I make? How can I improve tomorrow? Record your answers in a journal. You must be honest. You must be raw. This isn't about self-judgment. It's about awareness. With awareness comes strength. Recognize patterns. Identify triggers. Learn what drives you. This practice will build resilience. It will sharpen your mind against the chaos that swirls around you. If this is hitting different right now, do one thing for me. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me, for the version of you that needs this reminder next week. Now, you're building your reflection ritual. But there is one more element that makes it stick. It's not just about reflection. It's about action. Because without action, reflection is meaningless. You must act on the insights you gain. You must choose to rise above the chaos. So tonight, as you write, make a commitment. Select one insight from your reflection. Write down one specific action you will take tomorrow based on that insight. You're not just learning. You are evolving. You are not just mastering your emotions. You are becoming a stronger version of yourself. Now that you understand this, let me show you the weapon that makes it stick. Rule 12, the legacy of resilience. Now here is where most people completely fall apart. They mistake resilience for mere endurance. They think it's about toughing it out, gritting through pain without real growth. But that's wrong. Resilience is not about just surviving chaos. It's about rising above it, transforming it into power. This is your moment to build a legacy of resilience. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that the obstacles you face are not just roadblocks. They are pathways, teaching you how to become stronger, sharper, and more capable. Take a moment to think about your life. Think about the challenges you've faced. Those moments when everything seemed to collapse. Those are not just failures. They are lessons. They are opportunities to build resilience. Consider the story of a soldier preparing for battle. A soldier does not walk into the fray without training. He faces countless challenges in the training grounds first. He learns to fall and to rise again. Each challenge he faces builds his strength. The next obstacle does not intimidate him. Instead, it fuels his resolve. You must adopt this soldier's mindset. Your life is your battlefield. Every setback is a lesson. Every disappointment is a chance to grow. But here is the part nobody talks about. Resilience is not just about bouncing back. It's about bouncing forward. It's about using what you've learned in the chaos to pave a better path. So, here's your action step. Tonight, before you sleep, reflect on a recent challenge. What did you learn from it? Then, write down how you can use that lesson to take one concrete action tomorrow. It can be small, but it must be deliberate. This is the foundation of resilience. It's not enough to face your struggles. You must also harness the lessons they offer. Remember, every time you choose to rise above adversity, you are not just surviving. You are creating a legacy. Now that you understand this, let me show you the weapon that makes it stick. Because true resilience is forged not in silence, but in action. It's time to take the fight to the chaos that surrounds you. The final word: embrace the chaos. You are standing on the edge of chaos. The storm is raging all around you. You might feel the urge to retreat, to hide away from the uncertainty that life throws at you. But remember this: to embrace the chaos is to embrace life itself. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This powerful idea teaches us that chaos is not the enemy. It is the material from which we build our strength. When you face challenges, you are confronted with the raw elements that will shape your character. Consider the ancient Stoic Epictetus. He taught that it's not what happens to you that matters, but how you respond to it. Imagine a potter at his wheel. The clay is a chaotic mixture. It's messy and unformed. But with each careful touch, the potter shapes and molds the chaos into something beautiful. You, too, have the power to mold your circumstances. So how do you do this? Begin by shifting your perspective. Instead of viewing chaos as an obstacle, see it as an opportunity. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this mess? How can I grow from this experience? In your daily life, embrace the unexpected. When plans fall apart, when uncertainty creeps in, don't fight against it. Lean into it. Take a deep breath and say to yourself, "This is my moment. This is where I build my strength." Tonight, I challenge you. Take a piece of paper. Write down a recent moment of chaos in your life. It could be a disagreement with a friend, a setback at work, or an unexpected change in your plans. Then, under that moment, write down the lesson you learned. How did that experience shape you? Finally, identify one action you will take to move forward. It might be reaching out to mend a relationship, taking a bold step in your career, or simply being kinder to yourself. Embracing the chaos means redefining your relationship with life's challenges. True resilience is not just about enduring the storm. It's about dancing in the rain. Remember, you are the warrior in your own battle. Every struggle is not just a test. It is your training ground. So rise up, embrace the chaos. And when you do, you become untouchable. Subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And I will see you in the next one.